Hi, it's Zita Harkaran here, your guide to yogic lifestyle. Gave myself a new name. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the major benefits of fasting and why people have been doing fasting for thousands and millennia. The new research that shows how fasting benefits, my own anecdotal experience of it. I'm going to share with you how to do it safely and in ease so that you don't stress your body too much. One of the major reasons why I teach yoga and meditation is because I'm deeply interested in health and kind of a balanced, harmonized state of being. I have tried so many different techniques, right? Meditations, kriyas, but nothing was as profound as when I did a fast just a month ago. The change that occurred on a physical level, on an energy level, on a consciousness level, and on even spiritual level was like catapulted me so many years ahead in research and reversed my body back so many years back. So one reason is that you give your metabolism a break. When scientists try to explain why we have so many overweight people in our culture, they say something like, oh, you know, it's an evolutionary hiccup because body when we lived in caves, body needed to learn how to store fat for the worst times. It was like a self-preservation mode, right? So the first thing that body does, it stores fat when it gets more food. And that is the reason why we have so many fat people, because the first thing that body does, it stores fat. Yet on my fast, I realize the opposite is actually the truth. The body works so hard and tries to digest so much and turn into energy so much of what we consume that it actually becomes tired with all that digestion, metabolism and, you know, energy consumption. And only then, and only after years of eating badly or eating too much, does the body stop metabolizing and starts turning it into fat. That explains why when you are younger, you can eat as much as you want and not gain weight. And as you get older, you start gaining weight. So the fat and accumulation of the fat is not the first response of the body. It's not like you're going to have a milkshake with 1,000 calories and automatically that will be stored as fat. No, that is the last response of the body. But the reason that body has to metabolize so much food constantly could be the reason behind the chronic fatigue that so many people feel. The body doesn't want to walk around being fat and store the fat. That's not how the body works. It knows, let me just get rid of it. Only when it gets to the point that it just can't metabolize anymore, when the intake is constantly so much more that it can metabolize, then it starts storing it as fat. This chart is amazing. It shows effects of intermittent fasting on the body and brain. The effects on the whole body when you go on fast. In blood, in liver, intestines, in heart, fat cells in muscles, and of course in the brain. Another reason for fasting is so that your body can start burning the fat. When you eat every 4 or 5 hours, 3 times a day, you are only burning calories from the food that you consume. The metabolism shift happens when liver that creates glycogen is depleted of the glycogen and then starts taking the fat. But the liver naturally is not depleted of the glycogen until about 10 or 12 hours. Or the exercise can speed up how the glycogen is depleted in the liver. So there are two ways, right? Either don't eat for 10 to 12 hours or you exercise. The third benefit is that your mental cognition will increase. So you'll be sharper. You start creating new connections between neurons. And also what has been proven is that there was new creation of neurons from the stem cells. And before they used to say there are no new neurons being created. You get what you get, you only start losing them, but you can actually create new ones. That has been proven. When you go on a fast, the brain sees this as a challenge. And the neurons in the brain go into kind of like they start firing up actually. And they start making connections that you would not create before. The fourth benefit is that you start looking at food differently. And that's a long-term benefit. And you'll start creating new habits with food. I would look at the avocado and be like, oh my gosh, like this is going to fill me up so much. There's so many fats in there. This is amazing, Where before I would use the full avocado as just like a topping on a sandwich. There is another research that shows that mindset is everything when it comes to food. If you look at food, how it's going to fill you up, how beneficial it's going to be, your body starts processing that food differently. And you actually lose weight. They gave people milkshake and they told them that the milkshake is healthy, and then they give them the same milkshake and told them that it was very, very fat and indulging. And actually the people who were drinking the indulging, who thought they were drinking the indulging one, would lose weight more than the ones who thought that they were eating healthy stuff. When you do the fasting, you want to get to the point where you start appreciating food, a little bit of food, as the most nutritious, delicious, and indulging thing ever. The last benefit is that you will have a greater energy, productivity, creativity, because your body is not busy with constantly thinking about food and digesting food and metabolizing food. It's a lot of work for the body. And all of a sudden, that energy that would be spent on digestion can be then spent on other pursuits. Yogi Bhajan also wrote in his book, Foods for Health and Healing, that in India, if someone would start feel like they're getting older, that they feel like their body is like finally aging, they would go on a 30-day fast to renew, to rejuvenate, to renew their system. And that was my motivation. So one of the hardest things is to motivate yourself to the fast. So there could be, depending on your life situation, you'll find your own motivation. For me, it was like, I wanted to try because I felt like, just felt so much older. I wanted to renew. And this is exactly what I got. I lost 10 pounds and felt like, oh my gosh, I'm back in life. Like I gave my body a huge break and I received so many other benefits. I did maybe 15 or 16 days of fasting and I started skipping meals here and there. and I just replaced it with papaya. That was my thing. And then I only had 2 days of bad days of fasting, because what happens is that first it's a shock for the body, and body needs to adjust, and then it does adjust and it finds a new way. It's a challenge, and your body will meet the challenge. So 2 days I was feeling like, first day was like, oh okay, this is new. Second day I was like, I just wanted to lay down. I was so tired, I didn't want to do anything. The third day, boom, I was back to normal. And I had lots of energy. I felt fantastic because I was consuming a lot of pranic energy, which means I was consuming lots of fruit and veggies, things that take a lot of energy from the sun. But then it was a little bit difficult because you walk around the world and you don't find veggies when you are like, we went for a trip and there was no other food around than just bad burgers. It was a street fair. It was nothing else, and I didn't bring anything with me, and I did needed to eat. So that was my first break. I had a pretzel, right? So I felt like the culture was like pulling me down a little bit. And then another thing that was pulling me down was my bad habits started to show up, and the craving for sugar and craving for coffee started to pop up, and bread, that was I was craving. So I broke my fast, but I'm definitely going to do it again. I feel like even though I didn't complete my 30 days, I made a huge progress, huge progress. So it doesn't matter whether you do it, whether you meet your goal or not, as long as you give it a try. It makes a huge difference for your body, and the body will be really thankful to you. Did you find this helpful? Please give me a like. If so, if you're going to give fasting a try, let me know in the comments. If you have done it before, let me know how you felt, right? Let's share some experiences. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in again. Bye. How to do a fast. So there are 2 factors that you'll need to decide on: the frequency of the fast and what you will eat, right? Because you're not just, fast doesn't mean starving. Fast doesn't mean not eating and then overloading yourself with big dinner or a lot of food. Fast means eliminating certain foods and just sticking to very, very simple diet. So there are few different fasting intervals. You can do short one or intermittent. Short means maybe you fast 1 day a week, or you do it 2 days a month, or you do certain hours in a day, like you only eat for 4 to 8 hours in a day. Second thing that you will decide on is what you're going to eat. And so this is the most important factor of the fast. Depending on what food you eat, these are the health benefits that you will receive. Different foods will give you different benefits. So I would either recommend reading up on vegetables and fruits are good for what, or consulting with your intuition. What is your body craving? Craving meaning in a good healthy sense. What do you think your body would benefit the most from? Or consulting your health advisor. Yogi Bhajan wrote a great book, Foods for Health and Healing, and there is a little chapter on fasting, and he has a couple of different fasting ideas for you. There are fasts for rejuvenation, there are fasts for getting rid of the mucus, there are fasts for clearing out the intestinal tract, juice fast, melon diet. There are fasts that even like rice and beans kind of diet. So, and this is also important. What you need to look at is the season, what is actually available in the stores. You don't want to eat things that are out of season, right? Go on a melon diet in the middle of winter. Like, first of all, you might find a hard time finding melons, and second of all, it's just not what your body needs when it's 20 or 30 degrees outside. So, like for example, in winter, doing plain rice with mung beans, it's a really good diet. If it's just a plain diet, right? You don't eat anything else. In summer, you might find there's so many fruits and veggies around, so you might find that very nice way to fast with. So here is one example. This is what I did, and I would absolutely recommend this. This is great for beginners, for intermediate faster, for anyone, right? It's a long-term diet. Why I would actually recommend long-term diet at the beginning is because the first couple of days, it's when your body is fighting the fast. And these are the hardest days. And when you stop in those hardest days, you don't really get the benefits of the fasting, the good feeling that comes afterwards. It's good to get through those first couple of days, and then you have the energy, and then everything is very light and you feel very elevated. Don't just start out of the blue. It is important to prepare yourself for a fast. 2 weeks before, let's say, you'll start eating consciously, start eating healthier, right? Eliminate the most processed foods. Eliminate the most addictive foods first. You don't have to completely eliminate them, but just be aware that this is what you're eating, and maybe you can skip few days without coffee or skip few days without sugar. It's a good idea to start drinking yogi tea maybe 2 weeks before, and then you start skipping meals, right? So that will be your preparation for a fast. Let's say instead of dinner you'll have watermelon, right? Or instead of lunch you'll have avocado, and see how you feel, and then go back to regular eating. Tell your body, okay, we are preparing for something different. And then when you're ready, the best time to start a fast is on the new moon. Yeah, you can then map out the whole process with the way the moon grows. And as the moon grows, it will keep on giving you energy for your fast. And if it's summer and if there are a lot of fruits and veggies available, then go on a fruit and veggie diet. Eat some more nuts with it, or drink 100% juice, and that's it, right? It's simple. And stick with it for as long as you can. The first day will be like, oh, okay, we're doing it. Second day, you might feel really low energy. That's when the body is fighting this new way of eating. It's like, what is going on? I need more energy than this. And then, so I would recommend starting on a weekend too, so where you don't really have to work hard. And then you start feeling really good. You'll feel like you have a lot of energy, you'll feel really sharp, you'll feel light, and really take it day by day. Be grateful for every day that you were able to stick with your diet. There are a lot of negative thoughts that might come in, negative emotions. Observe them. Do not get pulled in them, right? Just observe and let it go. Oh, yeah, that's how I think. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. You can also document your progress, see what you're eating, how beautiful the food feels, and appreciate every single food that is in front of you as if it was the most indulgent thing ever. When you feel like this is it, you can't do it anymore, please be careful of how you come out of the fast, right? Don't just start eating the highly processed foods. Start introducing foods slowly. Otherwise, your body will let you know, and it might react with making you feel nauseous or just causing all kinds of problems. So really introduce food slowly. for at least a week or 2 weeks. The last foods that you should eat are the highly processed foods, like highly processed cheeses, meat. Once your body experiences the long-term fast, it will store this memory, and then it's much easier to go on a shorter fasts, right? Like 1 or 2 day fasts. It's like your body's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, and it will be able to switch easier. So, and then you can follow up and just fast 1 day a week or 2 or 3 days a month. It goes without saying, but I will say it anyway, that you shouldn't be fasting on very hard to process animal foods, protein. You should eat as light as possible and as natural as possible. That is all. Give it a try. You can also try my detox program, during which we are going to try a fast, and also do many other practices that go along before and after the fast. It's called Detox and Rejuvenate, and it will start soon. So check out my website, happyfreespirit.com.